the podcast. Nobody's safe.
Hey, what up, you guys? You're tuning into the podcast, Nobody's Safe. It's your girl, Felice, followed by my people. I have some guests here. On today's episode, we are actually discussing what to tolerate versus what not to tolerate as far as relationships. Okay, so MJ asked me, how long have I been seeing this complicated person? I would say maybe seriously, on a serious level, I would say maybe 5 months, 5 or 6 months.
How long you been seeing?
And then the real question is, at what point do y'all start cutting people from your permanent life off for the new people who come in?
I mean, once you say it, I ain't no timeline. If you tell me that you feel some type of way, all right, that starts today. But he ain't like that. Like, if I tell him to cut somebody off, he fighting for it.
He fighting for you to cut the person off?
Nah, he fighting to keep the person in his life.
Oh, okay.
So it's not even a mutual respect.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like, I'm not the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell y'all my little scenarios or whatever, and I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal, because it's like I was honest with you about who the people were. Might have left out some details, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with, cutting somebody off. You wouldn't do that. Yeah. I mean, we communicate to a certain extent, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a selfish one. I'm not. So.
Is there like a pattern between dating and relationships where, I don't know, maybe you've dated 5 people in 3 years? Is that how that works? Do you just continuously cut people off and then got to go find them again when y'all don't work out? And then you cut them off again because you found somebody else? And how does that for those people? Is that what y'all do?
I'm curious to know, how am I dealing with these people? Like, who are these people that I'm cutting off? Like, are these just like friends, like best friends? These are people just like cordial, associates. Like, I wouldn't just be cutting off my day ones, or like the people I found like true interest and love in for temporary. I wouldn't say temporary satisfaction, because that's what relationships really are until you see yourself in a relationship for like a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I couldn't say I'm just gonna cut them off, but by cutting a person off, to me, I just say like, that's like, I give it a break. Like, if I'm talking to them every day, I definitely, pause communication on a daily, type of thing. But it's tough saying you would cut somebody off that you actually known for years versus somebody you've only known for a couple weeks, couple months, couple days. I don't know.
Now, what's the we obviously know there's a difference between like just dating somebody and being in a committed relationship with somebody.
Right, with a label on
it. Right, Dakota. So when we talking about tolerating certain stuff and not tolerating certain stuff, what is it? Because the dating thing is so like complicated to me. Because it's certain things. It's just like you probably. I mean, I don't tolerate a lot of stuff.
So you basically talking about deal breakers.
Yeah, because it's like, what are some things that you probably shouldn't really question if you're just dating the person, you're not really in a committed relationship?
What should you not what?
Like tolerate, or some things you shouldn't really question if you're not really in a committed relationship.
Right. So that's called a deal breaker. So this is what we was talking about earlier. So cheating, you feel me? Dishonesty. What else was we saying?
Hygiene,
right? That's a given.
Knowledge.
Right. You gotta be able to have a meaningful conversation. You can't just be an unintelligent, uninformed person.
Yeah, informative. You can't just be talking about the same shit every day. You bring me some new news.
Just a little Barbie doll trophy wife that can't, you feel me, have no type of intellectual, spiritual conversation or nothing. So you gotta bring something to the table intellectually. What else?
But you said what was the other question?
I was saying it's for if you're just dating somebody versus being in a committed relationship. I know y'all got certain things that y'all.
It's the same thing because if I'm dating you that means you potentially, I'm potentially, you feel me? You in the tryouts to be in a relationship. So I'm looking for the same shit.
To me, the only thing you shouldn't question is finance.
I'm saying like, okay, I know that like the type, but I'm just saying like if it like involves like someone else, I would say when it comes to like what to not to tolerate versus, you know, your type, but certain things. Certain it involves doing other things.
You talking about like physically?
Yeah, like being with somebody and then like tolerating that somebody with other people. Like, what wouldn't you tolerate?
Oh, what you were saying earlier, like you touching on other niggas and shit, like shit like that, like all that touchy stuff. You feel me?
I mean, so when you men date, y'all date just one person or multiple women?
What you mean by date? You mean like
right? It depend on the agreement we got with the person. Like what kind of, you feel me, contract we got right here. It's just gonna be me and you, or we finna be fuck buddies.
Dating apps are.
That's not dating, Dakota. We're just fucking. That ain't dating.
Nah, I'm saying you could think of it as like people got different definitions.
Right,
it's jargon. It's like what we just messing around.
Okay.
Motherfuckers might be rooms. I seen them on a date. They dating. I take you on a date.
We talking about title type dating.
Right. It's levels.
No, that's crazy. No,
it's not crazy. It's just different people. Like you gotta be specific because people use words. You feel me? Words limited. You
loosely too.
Right. People use. You gotta really like narrow down on what you mean by dating. Like we boyfriend and girlfriend, we married, we just on Tinder messing around or whatever, you feel me? We just at the bar.
Because there's dating apps where you talk to several women.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a dating app.
Yeah.
And you're not dating those women, you just like, you picked a date to talk to them.
Right, y'all went on the date. A lot of people define dating like we've been going on multiple dates for at least a month or two. That's when I think of dating, that's what I think. Like we've been messing around for a minute, so we're dating. Like that's usually a threshold you got to hit. Like after a month messing around, okay, now we're dating. I guess it just happened. You feel me? Y'all talking about we dating. You know?
Right.
We in a relationship. That means it's a late woman. Oh, we booed up now. We girlfriend up in this bitch. Okay, all right. Me and all the guys girlfriend up.
That ain't date. That's we're together.
Some people think of that like, oh, y'all dating for real? Oh, that's your girlfriend.
Dating.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying.
Dating, like, see, no, okay. Dating.
We need to break down.
Right. So, okay. Well, obviously, if you meet somebody, you have to be more specific. Like, okay, are we dating to be in a serious relationship, or just dating, just going with the flow, or whatever? But I mean, usually
don't waste time every night.
Y'all men know, like it seemed like y'all would have to be the ones to be more specific because most of us women do date to be with you. Like,
there's some dogs out here. There's some dog women out here. But I feel it is us predominantly.
We gotta set the tone and let y'all know like what we expect and what it's gonna be. All right.
Right.
I don't get that. Break that down.
Dakota.
Break that down. Like if I start dating with you, like I gotta let you know, like, look, you ain't the only one. You feel me? Trying to be the only one. Like I can either I should be upfront with you like that. You feel me? Or I'm gonna let you know, like, look, I want you, and I only want you, and I don't want you messing with nobody else. Like ideally, you need to lay that out in the beginning, so it ain't no misconception. So you don't show up to my house 3 a.m. breaking the other girl car window. You feel me? Or something crazy, you know.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Like laying it out. You feel me? What the relationship? What's the expectations? Basically, you feel me? That's really on us.
Right, Lee. You agree?
Absolutely, wholeheartedly. Yes and no. Only because I got my own definition of dating. That's the only reason.
So what's your definition of dating?
My definition of dating is pending. So everything is pending. Okay. So if we're dating and I'm on a dating app, I'm pending with whoever I'm talking to. You know, it's potential with whomever. But if, like Dakota said, I'm pending with this woman and I'm talking to her for months on end, she got more time than somebody else. She got more affection, that type of dating goes on to like the next type of level, if that makes sense. Like everything is sort of pending, sort of kind of like you.
So to you, dating is like we dating, and then once we really feel like we got a connection and we go for each other, we can put a label on it.
Yes, exactly.
So dating to you is the stage between we just met and we got a label.
That don't mean have a plethora. I'm not saying like have a whole catalog, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of women. I'm just saying like,
it could just be you and one person, y'all dating.
Right.
Y'all not
it's still pending.
Right, still pending. Right.
You feel me?
How long do y'all even date before you feel like you should be committed to this person?
How long do you cook chicken until you get the right recipe?
That depends.
You got to get the right recipe. You got to get comfortable.
But what's your limit? Like, I get it. Like, if it's not there, it's not there. I'm just saying, like, how long would you tolerate just talking to this person before
we could tolerate it a long time. It'd be y'all wanting them labels ASAP. Like, that's a question for y'all.
Like you said, it'd be y'all ready to go into relationships. Yeah, you come in with the intent to actually want to be together. Us, on the other hand, we're always in this pending mindset. We can go this way, we go that way, we can do this for, however long it take type thing. You feel me?
Pending for a year, Dakota. Why would you think you don't know what you want?
I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, I think that's the healthiest way. It ain't realistic. I'm gonna say 3 to 6 months. But I think it's better to like on some realistic, mature stuff, it's better to date for a year, because that's when you gonna really get to know a person. Like, forget the little honeymoon stage. Like, you gonna get to know forget all the good. You gonna learn the good at first. You gonna want to learn out the bad, the ugly, and all that. A year is a long enough time for you to do that.
During that year, are you just dealing with her or other people?
I mean, ideally, you feel me, depending on...
That's what I'm saying.
Depending on what I got out of my system, depending on what age we talking about,
What the fuck?
We could just be pending for a year, so depending on the person, hopefully.
Yeah, your
But Romeo, you take...
I don't work all time.
I just got
because time is not ours.
But
I don't work all time.
I get it. Well, let's say like 3 or 4 or 5 months in.
Yeah, at a certain point, definitely. I feel where you're coming from. At a certain
my thing
point,
is like, because like that's what I was getting at, was that like dating versus relationship is that like there's certain things that you should not tolerate in those two different categories. Now, when it's dating, it's kind of like iffy because it's like we're not really in a committed relationship. So it's like, what certain things you shouldn't really question if you're just dating somebody. Dakota talking about, a whole year. But I mean, do y'all really date this one person when knowing y'all don't? Y'all talk to multiple people, but knowing how us females...
Put respect on our name, man.
No, knowing how us females are, we're more emotional and we're more like invested and more involved with y'all. That if you try to involve someone else, you got 2 people that like your ass. So how are you going to be able to decide who you want to be in a committed relationship with?
That's a good one. Which woman are you more comfortable with? Which woman are you seeing more serious with? Is really, we talking about time and basically, okay, repeat yourself so he can hear you.
So basically, if you are dating someone versus being in a relationship, what I was getting at is that, like, what are certain things that you would or would not tolerate? Because when you're dating somebody, it's just certain things that you really shouldn't really question if you're not in a committed relationship. But Dakota, if you're saying I'm going to date you for a whole year, knowing that some of you men most likely deal with more than one woman, how does it come down to you choosing that one woman, that you want to be with versus you got another woman that fell for you? Because of course we put more of our emotions into the relationship. So by y'all trying to get somebody else involved because y'all want to date more than one person, like, it has to be like a time frame. I mean, not like specific, but I'm just saying, like, you don't really need to date somebody for that long, because when you get other people involved, females, emotions and feelings and love, quote unquote. Like, when, Dakota?
When what? Like, how long do I want to be dated? What did you say?
You funny,
said,
yes.
How long do I want to be dated?
I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna answer it for Dakota. I'm gonna say, like he said, in like 3 to 5 months of dealing with, I don't care how many women you got, you gonna feel for one of those women on something serious. You gonna get, like you ain't gonna be playing around for forever. So I say like 3 to 5 months of, let's just say I meet all these women at the same time, and we all start kicking it off. We're all talking or whatever. Not all of us together, but you know what I mean. And, yeah. And you just like having conversation. Soon enough, like 3 to 5 months is like a
Good
cool
time.
enough time for you to say, yeah, I'm rocking with her.
You ready to settle down with it?
Yeah, I'm a step back from the limelight.
Right. That's what I said. I said 3 to 6 earlier.
Year, Dakota.
A year is probably like you deciding on if you can tolerate that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like after you like, okay.
I say 3 to 6 months realistically, because that's just like if y'all really feel. But like if you go a year, then it's like, I don't know. I feel like the reason I do that, because like if you do that with a girl, you gonna feel like she had to earn you. You feel me? So it just worked better in the long run. Like if I just hurry up and give you the title, you're gonna be like, oh, this is easy. But if it took you a year, you feel me? You gonna
get weird. Only the strong survive.
You gonna I had to work for this. You feel me? It's gonna be a little different versus if we just 2 weeks in. I love you, baby. I'm your boyfriend. Like, nah, you gonna have to.
We had 2 weeks.
You gotta earn that. You gotta earn that title. Then Then you gonna take it more seriously though. You feel me?
That's how you think we think.
I know that's how y'all
think we got several women.
It worked both ways. Like y'all do that to us, you be like, I'm not being your girlfriend, and you make us wait a year. Once we really get you locked in, we go, okay, I had to work for this. I better be on my best behavior. It worked both ways. That's what anything.
Okay.
That's what anything. Like look. Say I got like a book or something. Or a website with some self-improvement advice. I could give you that book or that website for free. You might not use it, but if I make you buy the book, buy the website, buy the app,
think about
you're going to be like, I invested my money in this. Just like how you invested your time in it before. You're going to take it more seriously. That's what I'm saying. Like psychologically, you feel me?
I don't think the time mean anything. You can go a whole year. You can go 3 to 6 months. It all matters what you fill that time with. So if you've given her a hard ass time just to be your girlfriend because you want to feel big and mighty, you want her to feel small and need you.
Why you say she gonna feel small during that year? That's what you saying?
You want her to build up like, oh my God, I need this man to need me. I need him to want me. Let me keep on.
It's not. I'm not. Yeah. It's not like that. It's just like why we need a label that first year. Why we gotta rush into it? You feel me? We could be dating and be monogamous and that whole time with no label. You feel? But the label, it means so much to y'all that it's like, okay, if it mean that much to you, let's wait a year. And then y'all put a timeline on marriage after the relationship start. Like the marriage clock be ticking. Yeah, that too. Literally.
Nah, it's just
no.
I mean, we don't date just to date. We date for longevity. Like,
why you can't?
Or we do, and it's just
exactly.
It's just other
That's
people.
Another thing. That's just a piece of paper. Like, why we can't vibe out with no contract?
Now I gotta pay to get it.
Why we gotta bring the law into this? Why we need legal stipulations on our love? You feel me?
Well, I mean, because
that's a whole nother subject.
Y'all know how that.
It's a whole nother subject.
Y'all know how that go. But what do y'all feel like you can fall in love with 2 people?
Definitely. That's why you can have multiple wives in Africa. But but this is America. We got a whole other cultural thing. So we all about monogamy. But that's a whole other subject.
You can fall in love with 2 men. You feel like that's possible?
Probably not. Lee? I can barely fall in love with one.
That probably.
Lee.
I want MJ to clarify. Probably.
That ain't sound too clear, too confident. You got to clarify that.
Okay, MJ.
Well, I mean, it's just not too many men out here that are impressing me. So if I can't find one, I'm going to find 2.
So you ain't even found
But if
one.
you found
That's what
five
you're
and you
No, I
cut it
found
down to
one
two,
before.
Mm-hmm.
If you found five,
and you
I
cut
can't
it down
find
to
one.
two, like,
How am I finding five?
I feel it.
you basing that on your experience.
Right,
You
you
also
only
said you
like
haven't.
right. You speaking from like a one-sided type of perspective. Like think of,
I still
let's
had
just say
options.
But you
right.
don't
Let's
think
just say with those options, you fell in love with. Well, you can't say that. So
I would have to fall in love. It would be different. Do I think other people can fall in love with more than one person? Yes, I do think people are like that.
so you think that's possible?
Yeah. Everybody was so fiend for love. Like, they don't even love themselves. They're out here looking for other people.
So you ain't never been in a situation
that's
where you
deep.
was really feeling two people and you had to choose, and it was like, oh, they kind of close. Like I got
No.
you ain't never been in a situation like that. Nah.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, that's
I could see one who's like,
Everybody
oh, he'd be a cool friend, or he'd be cool for this. But as far as is he trying to pursue me or satisfying my needs or checking on me? No, there's not two people at one time who are doing all those things. But again, or for the first time, I require more. Like, I don't like that basic ass, you look good. Oh, good. You got some muscles. Oh, good. You got a little bit of money. Oh, good. That's all things you're supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing to contribute to my life? Because otherwise, why are you here?
Right.
And
That's
vice
true.
versa.
Lee.
I'm a piggyback. I agree with MJ. You can. Absolutely. You can fall in love with two people at the same time, to me. But at the same time, is the love real for both people?
Right.
One is stronger than the other. I'll tell you that much. It's always going to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
One love is going to be stronger than the other. But it's possible to me. Yeah.
Well, if it's
possible.
one stronger than the other, it ain't you in love with two people. You just in love with one and you love the other person. I don't feel like that's possible because, like, for example, like, there's two guys that I may like. However, one of them I like more than the other. So it's just like, how am I falling in love with? How am I in love with both these niggas when one of them I like more than the other? Basically,
And is love
because
just a
you're in love
feeling?
with certain traits.
I mean, but
You know,
it's gonna be one trait. It's one of them go have the trait and the other one just not. Like, it's just that. Like, no, like, that shit is. I don't feel like that shit is possible, like, at all. Like, no, like, one person is more attractive than the other person. One person has more than the other person. Like, no, it's like a feeling. And it's just like a vibe. I'm not gonna have that feeling and that vibe with both of these niggas. Like, I'm just not. Like, I know who I'm gonna rather be around versus that other person. Like, I like both of them, but between both of them, I know who I feel more comfortable with being around all the fucking time. Have a break and go back to them. I can have a break from the other person. I don't care to be around them. It's not a big deal for me to, like, not be around with them anymore. I'd rather be with the person that I'm in love with. Like, it's
you know how this is proven to be a fact?
Yeah.
By the word affairs. We talking about marriages, affairs. People have affairs all the time. They fall in love with something about another person, and sometimes the love be strong enough to where they got to get divorced from the person they actually are in love with because they fell in love with something outside of their marriage. So that's why I think it's possible. Like, it happens
And
around
they
us
fell
all
out
the
of
time.
love.
Yeah, well, because the person you found was sucking, your dick better, and
But then in some of these marriages, motherfuckers be trying to crawl back. You feel me? Like, oh, it was a mistake. Then you can't claim it to be love. I don't know. I think
that
think
ain't love. That's just lust. It's a difference.
Yeah.
When you have an affair, you can have an affair out of love and then an affair out of lust.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about something else, Lee. Like,
nah, I'm talking about what we talking about. I'm talking about what we talking about.
Exactly.
I ain't highlight nothing.
That ain't got nothing to do with being in love. I just feel like in love is just a bond. It has nothing to do with somebody else has. It's just a pure bond, like a connection. So that's why I'm like, you're not gonna have that same connection with these two people. You're just not.
I think if you're in love with two people, you probably love one because you love them because of how they love you. But you stay with the other one because you want to love them.
and love
Does that
them.
make sense? Does that come out right?
Yeah, but with that not clear, with that not like, you know, my argument that you can be in love with two people.
You can definitely be in love with two people, but we
So
talk
what is
about
your definition of love?
monogamy is prominent. You had this conversation in another country in Africa where like
It's normal.
It's normal.
Tradition.
They gonna have a whole nother but since it's our tradition and we going into it with the expectation that like okay, it's just gonna be it's only one and one.
Right.
It's just monogamous. You feel me?
Right.
It's about willpower because you can have you. It's possible, but I feel is it possible to have a monogamous relationship when
I
you
don't
might
think
want to
that's-
have two?
Yeah,
Of course.
I don't feel like it's real. People will make it seem like it's not real. It's not genuine. Like it's just no way. Like I don't like they're okay with it in Africa, whatever. But it's just no way. Like I'm not like I like people differently. I'm not liking you the same as somebody else. So that's what I'm saying. You're not in love with two people.
Mm-hmm.
More than three, like more than four. It's just gonna be that one person. I like everybody different. So it's just
I hear you.
no way.
You know what it is? Your definition of love, being in love with somebody is being in love with one person. And that's how it is for most Americans. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're gonna define it like that,
Yeah, are you being biased? It sort of sounds like you being biased, sort of. To the
No,
topic.
I'm not. But I'm not because I don't believe that. Like I just feel like they're just okay with it. But it's just like, well, I don't feel like it's real genuine. Like if I was to sit in front of them people and ask them, okay, so what is it that you like about this person? How do you feel? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, people have probably just have their own definition of love and being in love.
Right.
You know, that's
exactly
how it, comes about, by them thinking that it could be two people. But realistically, it's like, no. Like, like I could just tell them, like, no, you're not in love with this person. Like this other person. You're just not.
Like she said earlier, if you can't be in love with me because you had to fall out of love with me to fall in love with another person.
Right.
So we define love as one connection with one person. So by definition, you can't if you're gonna define it like that, which is how most Americans define it. So, which is probably your target
So you
audience.
think you feel like it's possible, Dakota, that you can fall in love with more than one person?
I mean, yeah, of course, you see it all the time. You see little weirdos having polygamous relationships. Like, I don't know what Will Smith and Jada got going. We heard all type of weird shit now. You feel me? I'm raised the same way you raised. Am I trying to do that? No. I only like having threesomes with my girl.
That was a great example.
What?
Jada
and Will?
loving the shit out of Will Smith.
She didn't say she was in love with August. Did she say that?
She never said that.
Y'all
She
not
said she has love for him.
Some
Love
stuff
for
don't have
him.
to be
You can't say it on TV.
You know, that's
right.
You ain't saying it on
Some stuff don't have
TV.
Hold on. First of all, that's a wrong example because August and Jada, they're Virgos. I'm a Virgo. She wasn't in love with that boy.
You can't defend somebody off a zodiac sign.
Yeah, I can.
Right. You sure,
So y'all don't believe in zodiac signs?
They might have similarities.
Y'all don't believe in zodiac signs?
Huh?
Y'all don't believe in zodiac signs?
We believe in them. We
it,
both
but you can't defend a person based off their zodiac sign. You gotta defend a person based off their qualities.
Right. It's deeper than
Their
that.
decisions. And look at the decisions Jada made.
I don't feel like, nah.
Entanglement. She was entangled.
She good with words. She's sneaky.
Right.
She's smooth. She a smooth criminal.
She sneaked her way out of that. You know what I'm saying?
She got out the jam. She did the right thing. You know. Will
I mean,
Smith.
if she
City
fell,
girls going up.
if she fell in love with him, she fell out of love with Will. And that was that.
Also, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she temporarily fell out of love. I think they said something like that. I ain't see the whole interview. I seen like a clip. I think she said they temporarily fell out. So technically it wasn't cheating. And then they had an affair and got back together. You feel me? So that's
the love was always there.
Right. So
it was blindsided. You can get blindsided. You feel me?
that's when people in a relationship are most vulnerable. We be like, we're gonna take a break. And you're going to be like, okay, I ain't fucking on you, so I got to find somebody to spend my time with and feel good with. That you might end up doing it with somebody you don't love or you feel like you love, but it ain't how the person is. You really have to connect with. It's love. It's lust. You might be telling yourself it's love, or you feel me. Then you end up getting back with the other person.
So technically, you can't fall in love with two people.
Yeah. See, in that situation, because that's what they say happened, I think. Ain't that what they say?
Are we agreeing what I just said? It's
Yeah,
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go ahead and agree. I'm gonna agree to disagree, but I agree strongly.
I'm agreeing, but I'm also letting you know it's people with a whole different mentality. You feel me? Like I gotta throw that out there. But how we raised, like most people that we don't relate to,
right?
No, it's
well,
not
I'm gonna
possible.
argue them down because we was in Clubhouse and this guy that's from Africa, he was breaking, he was talking about it and he was breaking it down.
You talking about that minister dude?
Yeah, you was in there. Yeah, and I'm just like,
that's why I'm thinking about it. Like he was talking about he finna have 12 wives in his mansion. I'm like, okay, he bringing up dudes, somebody King Solomon who had 1 million wives in the Bible or something.
That's true.
So I'm like, okay,
Not 1 million, but
he had like hundreds or something crazy. So I'm like,
what he was saying was that like
it's about culture and how you raise, really.
Right, because he was saying if they was raised to be like that, then I guess it's possible for them. But
that's
for people like us, we're not raised.
We're not raised like that, right?
And there go us being biased to a certain side, to
our culture and our
pick a side only because of how we were trained. You feel me?
Are they picking wives? Are they picking wives for love, or do they just pick wives to have wives? I didn't think it was for love.
We have to have them on here to pick their brain.
Yeah, I ain't heard that.
Okay.
They didn't explain that.
I don't really know that much.
They didn't even explain that. That should have been a question that they asked, but they didn't even ask that. And that's a good question. It's just like, okay, how are you picking these women?
Mm-hmm. And women will get picked. They won't make. They don't have to be for love.
And I don't feel like they picking them like that. So again, like I said, you're not falling in love with yeah.
Actually, I remember a little bit of what he said. I remember what he
Alicia,
said.
you're killing me.
Look. Hey, I remember what he said.
At the end of the day.
Hey, you know what he said? He said, this is what he was saying. He was saying this. If you such an alpha male where you can handle multiple women and get those women to get along and find women, because there's women that want polygamous relationships. Like it might be weird, they might be the minority, but they out here. We hear about them all the time.
I know.
All kind of stuff. So if you can find women who willing to agree to that, and you can handle them and handle all of the hormones in your house, and you feel like you an alpha man, that's what you really want. It's definitely possible. You just it's not that common. You feel me? But
what's love got to do with it?
Not the movie.
But what's love got to do with it?
You gotta ask them. You gotta ask them. Like you feel like it's just different opinions. Like they
ask Martin.
Right. They gonna ask you. They might say to you, "Why you can only love one person? Why my heart can't be big enough to love all these women and my one husband?" Like I don't know. Like you would have to ask them. I don't really talk to them.
Is it not love?
I like one girl. I don't even like having threesomes. I don't, because you feel me. I'm gonna get jealous if she doing some shit to you that I can't do, because you feel me.
We gotta remember there's a very thin line. We gotta remember it's a very thin line between love and lust.
Yeah, that's real. That's true. It's real thin. It's really about how you think about it.
Right.
Like, you can really define it.
It can be invisible.
It's exactly.
So that's tough.
That's another thing.
And can all of his wives have husbands as well?
No, that's not. In that situation, he wasn't talking about that. That's not how they do it in Africa. That's something else. That's an open relationship. That's completely different. That's called an open relationship.
In open relationships, you're not in love.
What are you getting at, MJ?
that apparently only men can love multiple people at a time and not women.
No, you got your Amber Roses out here doing hoorah, slut.
No, but we're not talking. We're not talking about America right now. We're not talking about America.
Closed-minded.
We're not talking about America. We're going. We're not in America right now. We brought it to a whole nother country.
They out here.
They got it.
That's true for them. You wasn't talking about America though. You was talking about the countries that believe in polygamy. So is it just polygamy for the men to have multiple wives?
Africa. I'm sure it's countries where they got women who, you feel me, have multiple husbands. They probably, I'm sure it got to be a culture like
definitely,
that. I don't know. I ain't no
possibilities. The possibilities are endless.
It's definitely a couple out there like that. It's all kind of weird couples. It's definitely at least one or two. It might be a whole village with a woman running the whole town. It's all type of, you feel me, different cultures and relationships.
I think Will and Jada got back together, so we can start with them.
They made it work.
Man, who knows?
No shade to that.
And he a Libra, right? Interesting.
Her
Who, Will Smith?
Yeah.
You said he what?
Whatever they got going on, they got kids. Now, neither one of y'all got kids, right? Or Lee, you got kids?
No.
Thank God.
I know, right? Praise to the Most High.
You gotta save him for your wife.
Oh, okay, I know that's right. So, when it comes to, like, I mean, would y'all date a woman that has kids? In, like, whatever situations
Definitely.
I deal with her child's father?
She gonna lose points just for having kids. I ain't gonna cap, but I definitely date her depending on all the other factors that determine her attractiveness. But she already losing points because now I gotta take care of them kids, and you feel me? That's a whole nother level of responsibility. And they ain't even mine.
That's a burden then. You don't actually
You gonna lose
accept it.
points with me. It ain't cute. It ain't like you get, oh, you got a little baby. Oh, I get the help. No, you're losing points. But you feel me? You can make up for it. It's possible. That ain't what I'm going out looking for. I ain't shopping at the daycare center looking for milks with all these babies. But but I could though. You feel me?
Oh my goodness. I can't with that.
Let me ask y'all that. That's what I want to know. Do y'all like a man with kids? How y'all feel about that?
Do you women have kids? Do you?
No. I know you don't.
Can you date a man with kids or a kid?
I mean, that's complicated. I mean, I give people benefit of doubt, whatever their situation is. I'm all about a bond, a connection, or whatever. So I'm not gonna judge. It's always gonna be something. You know, it ain't gotta be somebody else. It's gonna be that person. Period. But every single time I try to date somebody that has a kid, they not it. It ain't got nothing to do with the kid. It's just them. And then it could be other stuff. And like, worst case scenario of me dating a guy that has a kid on the way, not knowing if it's really his, or him tending to the alleged baby mama. It's just like, bro, come on now. Like, no. Shit, I just can't tolerate. Like,
it's a whole, it brings more shit.
Tending to somebody.
MJ, what about you?
Yeah.
Pretty much what I said.
I mean, don't bring no drama my way. Don't put me in no bullshit. Yeah.
Have y'all tried dated a woman that, because I heard it's like men say that women pussy is really good when she's pregnant. Have y'all dated a woman that was pregnant?
Not to my knowledge, she might have been. She ain't never opened out to me like this, so you know you technically having a threesome. Like, nah, ain't no woman ever told me that.
Crazy,
but
I love it.
You probably the daddy, your ass. You the daddy.
You.
Relax. I think you made a mistake. No, I don't think I smashed a pregnant woman. I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Wait, actually, how many months pregnant we talking? We talking a couple of weeks, then yeah. If that count, or you saying the fetus gotta be developed?
What?
You was the daddy.
No.
You the daddy.
Basketball Friday at the next one. Okay.
Looking at, I'm the pappy.
All right, Safe Fam, thanks for tuning into the podcast Nobody's Safe Part 3, What to Tolerate versus What Not to Tolerate. We're continuing this conversation with my girl, MJ, and the fellas, Dakota and Lee. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and follow us on all social media platforms in the description below. And stay tuned to the final conversation on this topic, what to tolerate versus not to tolerate.